All right, so I'm going to go through how to create a custom title block for those folks for the AutoMoBlocks project. Specifically, each company needs their own title block. So I've jumped ahead and I'm on an A-size drawing with a 4x4 border. If you need help with that, reference some previous videos. But on the browser here on the drawing resources, I'm going to go ahead and right click on the title blocks. I'm going to define a new title block. And then I'm just going to use, my rectangles and lines to go ahead and create a title block. I'm going to try to minimize the size of it as much as possible, just so that it doesn't take too much space. So you'll notice that all I'm doing is I'm drawing rectangles. There we go. Now I want to go through and I want to dimension those. If I don't dimension them, then they're just going to go ahead and not be even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them all 0.4, 0.4, and then the width of this 2.7, we'll say. I could always use constraints to go ahead and constrain everything so that they're even. Oops. Obviously those aren't even right there, so maybe I want to make that line constrained as well. There we go. I can make my life a little faster by maybe using some of the constraints to mirror some of the objects. So let me see, I can mirror these lines over this mirror line. Great. I can delete that. That looks good. I can quickly add text just the way I want to do it. So maybe let me do one more line here. I don't love my title block, but it gives you guys an idea of how it's going to work. I could always move that and center it. In terms of the other text options you have, let's be clear about what they are. You could do standard text like the one I have here, or you could do something a little more custom like a prompted entry. That prompted entry will ask for, actually I'm not going to do prompted entry. Why don't I just go ahead and pull up what the part name is. Insert that. That way it's going to get called out. So I'm going to call this custom title block and then insert it into my drawing. Oh, I already see the error there. So you'll notice that that's actually not part of it. There we go. Okay, that means when I insert a part into here, so if I select one of the parts that I want to bring in, sure, I'll bring in these parts. This is something different right here. Different project we worked on, but let me bring it in again. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to show you guys how this is going to work out. Cool. And you'll note that the part name goes right in there. Okay. So I'm going to continue to edit that. Maybe I want to do designer name. And then I want that to be a prompted entry. You'll note that maybe the box is too small for that designer name. I could always change the font, but what if I wanted to dimension this? I want this to be 0.1 away, and then in this direction, Let's go 0.75. That's not what I meant. 0.075. There we go. We could always constrict these so that the text is at the same elevation. Same with this text box. Now they're equal. I would still have to dimension this though to be the same distance if I wanted to be consistent. And then I could go ahead and even these out. Okay. Now when I save this, you'll note that what comes up is designer name, so I'll type in my name and then click OK, and there my name pops up. If I ever wanted to insert any kind of logo, which you guys will have to do, then you're going to want to go to your image. You're going to want to select an image location, so it's going to go there. Then you're going to want to find which image you're going to want to insert. So maybe I want to insert a Warren logo. It's pretty big, so I could always size it down. For some reason I always struggle with this. I'm sure there's something I'm supposed to do. There we go. I don't know why I always struggle. I struggle with waiting for that little sign to come up. Okay, great. Yep, looks good to me. And there we go. Obviously, I would fill in things like scale. I would fill in things with like the date, the size of the sheet, all these different types of things. But the point is, you're going to want to populate a custom title block. You're not going to want it to take very much space. Personally, I always try to get like maybe 3/4 of the way up this line of the 4x4. I try to stay away as far away as possible from that line because I know I'm going to have a lot of dimensions. Otherwise, this is what you're going to end up doing. You're going to create a custom title block specific to your team. It could be anywhere. It could have any kind of design, but you do want to be mindful. The most important thing is the multi-view drawings, okay? Especially when you start getting with dimensions, you're going to see a lot of dimensions and you don't want this to be getting in the way. All right, if you have questions, just feel free to ask me. Thank you.